Meat made us the king of all beasts because there's no other way to get protein.
We've grown canine teeth.
But animals are here for us to eat.
You'll die as an infant if you don't eat animal products.
Nobody talks about how much time it takes to prepare these meals, to plan the meals.
Good foods are more expensive. So
I hear that.
Vegan food's way more expensive than any other food.
You brought up a really valid point, which is about the price of things and how vegan products are often a lot more expensive, like the vegan cheese or whatever.
Right.
And I was saying, like, the cheapest foods that you can buy in a supermarket are like the chickpeas, right? The potatoes, the pastas, the grains, stuff like that, rice and stuff, and that's vegan.
Right.
So do you think that maybe there is a way that we can eat vegan and do it affordably?
Yeah, there is.
What do you mean it's not a thing? People eat meat just stupid. Not eat meat. That's just stupid. It's not a real thing.
Why is it stupid?
Because everybody likes meat.
Without consumers. Our body is designed to have canine teeth, though. We're literally, our body,
Sorry,
our bones.
what did you say?
Our bones, we are literally.
You have canine teeth?
Humans are born with canine teeth.
Let me see them.
Let
me see yours. Have you seen real canines on a tiger?
But wait a minute, how do we know that plants don't?
Okay.
You hear a branch break.
Yeah.
How do we know the tree's not
Well,
feeling
let's go for it. I mean, I totally agree. Like, let's say
we don't know.
so we can go basic biology. We can say they don't have a brain, a central nervous system, or pain receptors, and we can go down that route. But we can also say, well, science has only ever taken us so far, can't we? And maybe there's something we don't know, or maybe something God hasn't revealed to us yet. We can argue that. But what we know is that it takes, say, up to 16 kilograms of plants to produce 1 kilogram of beef, and it requires a lot more plants to produce animal products. So even if we do think that plants feel pain, it would still be more justifiable for us to be vegan because less plants are used in a vegan diet than they are in an animal-based diet, So even if we believe plants feel, we should still be vegan.
Protein, basically.
For protein, we can get protein from plants, and you know that. Come on, mate, you've done research.
I understand that. Now,
All protein comes from plants.
All protein
originally comes from plants
because animals that eat it turn it into what they
exactly.
Need to use.
You're filtering your nutrients through an animal.
Plants have a life as well.
Yeah, but they don't.
They do have a life.
They're alive.
Everything is alive.
Yeah.
So we have to think about it in that way, in that respect as well.
But a carrot doesn't suffer like a pig does.
How do you know?
Because they don't have a brain.
How do you know?
They don't have a brain or nervous system.
No, I don't agree. I believe everything is one thing, and that everything that exists thinks.
Of the process before they end up dead.
If we didn't have, there would be none left.
Only
will be extinct.
But we breed them into existence.
Nobody is going to look after them.
Well, there'll be sanctuaries and stuff, and naturally people who do care.
It's expensive.
Yeah, but the sanctuaries do exist.
It's a bit extreme though.
But tell me, why is it extreme?
Because there's more important things going on in the world.
But what's
than
more
not eating a beef burger?
Okay, but what's more extreme? Taking the life of an animal unnecessarily, or not?
Taking the life of a human.
But we're not killing humans either, right? So what we're saying
is
you can
every day.
But the fact just because bad things are happening to humans,
you're killing more humans with sugar, than you are with whatever is going on here.
You know, 2.7 trillion humans are dying every year because of sugar.
It's extreme. It's extreme.
But you haven't answered the question. Why is it extreme to not take the life of an animal if we don't have to, compared to putting them in farms, taking them to a slaughterhouse? Objectively, what's more extreme?
Because it's farming. Farming has been around way before vegan was even a speckle of understanding.
But morality is something that changes with time. Now, we look through our history.
There's more things that you can be working on morality in this universe than killing cows.
But why are you provided moral justification to take the life of an animal with your money just because a human is suffering? Just because something bad's happened in the Middle East does not provide you justification to pay for a cow to die in this country, right?
You're comparing a human.
It's not
with a cow.
comparison.
Yes, you are.
Listen, you
yes,
don't
you
have. You do not.
No,
it's not a comparison.
In your mind, a sentient being here is all equal.
But that's not what I'm saying to you. I'm saying that all life should be treated with the basic respect that we grant ourselves. It doesn't matter how long a system has been in place for. Today, in this world, it is unnecessary. And because it is unnecessary, it should not be allowed to continue. It's irrelevant how long we've been doing something for previous years, right?
I do get frustrated as a farmer, and some of the films and stuff that get shown from Peter are complete and utter bullshit, and that they're doing the wrong thing by themselves, because good farmers support Peter, and then they're showing like dummies instead of like sheep. I don't know if you
Do you have evidence for that?
Yeah, they got pulled up on it. Did you see
showing
it?
Dummies?
It was on Facebook, and they put forward this footage and saying that it was a sheep.
So, but do you think any of these are dummies?
No.
Do you drive a car, ride a bike?
I drive a car.
Greenhouse gases, emissions.
You know, cars kill people too.
Yes. So
you're a murderer because you drive a car.
You
but you're damaging the planet by driving a car.
Okay. So hey, bro, it's not flawed, bro, because if I was here directly harming a dog, okay, if I was directly harming a dog, stabbing them in the throat, chopping their body up into pieces, and you come up, and brother, and you come up to me and said, stop doing that, that dog has moral value, and I said to you, do you have a phone?
Well, I do.
Okay, and I'd say, well, you're a hypocrite because you have a phone. I'm allowed to stab and kill whoever I want because you have a phone.
I just feel like it's your choice. If you want to eat animals, you do it, but do it in the most humane way as possible instead of just torture that poor animal and then kill it and eat it, you know?
Yeah, what would be a humane way of killing them, do you think?
Ooh.
Good, hard question.
Yeah, that is a hard question. I don't know how to say this in a nice way, but I think you should just get it in for it. Like, make it as less painful as possible, but like fast.
So if we were to kill like a dog or a cat in that way, would that be moral?
Honestly,
I think that reducing it first is the best because everything at the same time it's hard.
Yeah, it was hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And you say that people who are on vegan diets are malnourished, and people who are malnourished are more likely to commit crimes.
Do you think because the animal was killed that the act of killing the animal itself is cruelty? Like taking the animal's life?
No, we have to.
We have to?
We have to.
To survive?
Not to survive. It's not a question of survival. It's just a question of the need of the body.
The need.
From
my point of view, we're omnivores. We eat meat.
Do you think just because we can digest something does it make it moral? Like we could eat dog, but would that be moral to eat dogs?
I come from a science point of view. I
Yeah.
know where we've evolved from.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other apes that are most similar to us, most of them eat meat as well.
Well, I think the apes that we originally evolved from were ate insects and plants mostly, and then we evolved into like our early Homo sapiens. Then we ate meat for necessity. But I guess the thing is we don't have to do so anymore, like because we have an abundance of other stuff available. There was a time undoubtedly where we had to survive, but now we don't. And I think that's why for me the issue of whether or not we should be vegan is so important, because we have the option to be vegan now.
Where do you get your protein? This is air. So where do you get your oxygen? If you take a sample of air, it's about 21% oxygen, the rest is nitrogen. And now can I get enough oxygen from breathing? What if I'm an athlete? If you're an athlete, you breathe more. So protein is a little bit like oxygen. There's some of it in the foods that you eat, and you're not going to become protein deficient unless you're eating nothing but candy all day. And then you've got lots of other problems.
well, animal-based proteins are the best, period. And
So animal-based proteins are the ones that are linked to cancer promotion, because what they do is they increase the production of the body's IGF-1, and what that does is proliferate cells, including cancer cells. So we all have precancerous cells in our bodies, right? But with a healthy immune system, the immune system knocks out those precancerous cells. However, what IGF-1 does is it helps those cancer cells to grow and proliferate, turning into tumours.
I do feel very bad actually about animals, but at the end of the day, it's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? There's too many animals on this planet. There's more animals than what there is human beings. So you're going to have to kill them at some point. Do you know what I mean? When the day they change, saying, oh, we're going to stop killing all animals, is the day I completely give up on life.
The only reason that draws me back from being vegan is, I mean, growing up we were always raised on meat.
Yeah, as was I.
Yeah.
I literally can't be I've tried to be vegetarian, but I'm anemic. I've got a lot of health issues. I have to.
We were vegetarian as well before we were vegan. Before we were vegetarian, we ate meat, dairy, and eggs just like everyone else. But then we learned that actually dairy inhibits iron absorption.
Go back to the time of the caveman, for God's sake. It's nature.
Reduce the deaths.
We can take it down to the level that what the fuck if the plant has feelings. How do you know the plant has feelings?
Because it's scientific consensus that plants aren't sentient. I mean, that is, there's no scientist, rational scientist on Earth that thinks that plants are sentient. They don't experience subjective reality. They don't have a brain or a central nervous system. Like animals clearly avoid pain and suffering. They show affection. They want to look after their young. You take a cow's calf away from her, she's distressed.
The soy and all that stuff is just more expensive.
Yeah.
I just can't afford it. Like,
sure.
Some people can't afford the more expensive stuff.
I understand. There's two things.
Stuff.
Don't worry about organic. Don't worry about that.
Organic doesn't really.
Don't worry about that. I don't eat organic. I mean, it's, you know, it can be healthier for you, but right now, What you need to worry about is that 14 of the 15 leading causes of death come from animal products. It's not the inorganic foods, it's that it's coming from animals. It's high in cholesterol and saturated fat and animal protein.
There are humans dying as well.
Are you eating humans?
Some people do.
So, but you're not paying for a human to die, so you're not paying a hitman to kill a human, but when you pay the dairy industry, you're paying them to kill cows, and is that true?
I mean, you've got points, but yeah.
You know, it's been the protein that we know is there in the meat and stuff like that. You can get, you know, vegetarian like tofu and stuff like that, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's still the same thing.
You won't get protein from like grass. Well, some people eat grass.
Do you know what protein is?
Yes. Well, yes.
Please explain.
It is.
Come on. It's just it's chemistry.
Protein 101.
It's like biology 101.
Yeah.
I'll let you off the hook there. So when people eat animals to get protein, the protein they're getting, the animals have gotten from grass and plants. So all plants have protein in them. So you don't need to eat animals to get protein.
My biology teacher taught me wrong.
So would you give this car to a lion?
To a what?
A lion.
A lion is a carnivore. We're not carnivores.
We're omnivores.
No, we're not.
That's why we're having sizes.
No. The animal with the largest canines in the world is a hippopotamus. And they are herbivores. They only eat plants. We have these large teeth here to, you know, bite into hard things like apples and carrots. We can't tear an animal apart with those.
Yeah. So would you say eating animals sort of is going against giving them equality?
No. It's not going against giving them equality. I'm afraid I'm going to say that I think it's a natural thing to do. To eat other animals. Other animals eat other animals. I don't see why I shouldn't eat other animals.
Well, I'm a Christian, and it's in the Bible to eat meat.
But in the Garden of Eden, what did Adam and Eve eat?
Does it make a difference?
Yeah, I mean, they were vegan in the Garden of Eden. I think that the reality is with religion is God has neither said that we have to or don't have to,
okay,
and it becomes like a choice between the two of us.
Exactly. So
So
it's a choice.
it becomes almost irrelevant about God because again it becomes personal, and again the question is what moral justification do we use to justify it?
You could back that both ways, couldn't you?
You could too. But I'm just saying God hasn't told us that we have to eat animals. And the fact that and I think that when obviously when the Bible was written we probably had to live. Now we don't. So I think in the eyes of God, this is my personal opinion, in the eyes of God, because we had the option between not killing his creatures or killing his creatures, morally, he'd prefer if we didn't.
Yeah, I think like animals vary in intelligence and pain varying.
They vary in intelligence for sure, and that's why we should never use intelligence as a measure of whether we should kill someone or not. If we did so, then we'd be killing babies, we'd be killing mentally disabled people and what have you. So sentience is a much better measure, and for sure that varies, but when we're talking about the food animals, cows, pigs, chickens, ducks, turkeys, their ability to feel pain, they've all got a central nervous system, so, you know.
What do you need from an animal product to live? What do you
protein,
need?
all the nutrients from all that meat.
But can we get protein from plants?
Yeah, I'm gonna go out into the woods, pick up a plant and eat it.
You don't have to, you can go to Target or Walmart or Walgreens, right? Do you believe in like humane slaughter? Like, do you think there's a humane way to kill an animal?
I think there is. I mean, if it's like quick, like not like obviously not like how they were shown, but if it's like a local farmer that like treats animals right, like carefully, like nice. You know, I feel like if it's quick and it's not like hurting the animals, I don't think it's a.
Okay, so let me take this idea and apply it to something else.
Okay.
If I take a girl out on a date and I pay for a really nice meal and we have a really great time and she has a wonderful evening, we go back to my hotel. I bought it obviously because I'm a nice guy.
Right.
And then we have a drink and I slip her a Hypnol in a drink and then I rape her when she's unconscious. But she doesn't know about it. It's quick. She's had a nice time. Like she loved life. But I rape her. Is that acceptable?
No, that's not acceptable.
So it's not humane rape.
I mean, you can't rape anybody, that's not humane.
But, so if you can't rape someone humanely, how can you slaughter something humanely?